Hi class, today we are going to discuss cells and different organelles and different types of cells within cells. For those of you who do not know, cells are defined as the smallest structural and functional unit of an organism. They are found in all living organisms and are needed in order to create life. This falls under the strand 4 of life science at the secondary level and concept number 1. Today we're going to focus on performance objective number 2 as we compare the forms and functions of prokaryotic versus eukaryotic cells and look at their cellular components. To start off with, we are going to look at the prokaryotic cell. These are all single-celled organisms and more typically can be filed under archaea and bacteria. The largest characteristic notice of prokaryotic cells are that they lack membrane-bound nucleuses, and they are the oldest type of cells to exist on Earth. They reproduce asexually, which means they do not need a spouse, that they use themselves to split in half and create new offsprings. The other side of prokaryotic cells are the eukaryotic cells. These cells are much more advanced as they have a membrane-bound nucleus as well as membrane-bound organelles. These include plants, animals, and funguses. They are multicelled organisms and can reproduce asexually as seen in plants and funguses, or sexually also seen in plants as well as animals. They are typically 10 times bigger than prokaryotic cells, and as I said before, are much more advanced and found in more advanced organisms. As we look here, we can see two eukaryotic cells and how they differ from one each other. We have a plant cell on the left and an animal cell on the right. As you can see, they both have nuclear membranes that cover the nucleuses, as well as similar organelles. These include the endoplasmic reticulums, ribosomes, Golgi apparatus, and mitochondria. If you look on the left side, we can see that the plant cell is covered by a cell wall, which the animal cell lacks, which is used to give it structure and protection. The cell organelle on the right is the animal cell, which has lysosomes, which is used to break down waste and fats that are found in the cell, which we do not worry about as much in the plants. Both are very similar as they are eukaryotic cells, but differ from the organelles that are listed. Next, we're going to discuss some of the more important organelles found in cells that we're going to be discussing more tomorrow in class. The first structure we're going to discuss is the nucleus. This is probably the most important organelle within an organism cell. It contains all genetic materials and DNA, which is more typically known as chromosomes. It is the control center of the cell. It controls the life cycle and what happens in the cell moving forward. Surrounding both the nucleus and the entire cell are cell membranes. They control the material entering and exiting out of the cell. It is composed of a phospholipid bilayer, which has a fat or lipid head, and then two phosphate tails facing each other. They have pores and proteins that can allow for materials to enter. And next we are going to discuss the mitochondria. Mitochondria are the cell powerhouse. Without them, we would not be able to function or live at all. They are used to create ATP through the pyruvate oxidation, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain. ATP is the most basic form of energy we have in our body that we use for muscle movement, heart beating, and all other types of energy. Tomorrow for class, I would like you all to bring a pen and pencil, your notebook that should include all notes from this video, and colored pencils in order to sketch different organelles and different types of cells. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you guys in class tomorrow.